Hello everybody and welcome back. Mr. Obviously Insane here with the second compilation video of my 30-day challenge, 30 games in 30 days. If you haven't checked out the first video, I'll make sure that I have a link in the description below. However, I want to do this one a little bit faster than we did the last one, so let's get going. Day 6. I decided to check out a game that has been in my inventory for a long time. Middle-earth: Shadows of Mordor. Finally, this game also kind of made me watch the entire trilogy of Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit movies after I played it. Justified? I don't know. Anyone else like those movies? Let me know in the comments below. But this is another one of those action-adventure games that sort of ties the tutorial into the storyline. I do like a game that starts in kind of like a dream sequence, or a memory sequence, something along those lines, that allows you to get your bases and your bearing in the game, and then continue on with the story, which this wasn't actually too bad. It sort of sets up for, why you're kind of going on a mission of vengeance, I guess you could call it. I won't go too far into the story. The game is pretty old, actually. It's, what, 2014, I think? So something like almost 5 years old. I think it holds up pretty well. It's not too bad. The graphics still looks very well. I really enjoyed the whole series for the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit, like I said. So this kind of ties in between those two. And I don't know why it took me so long to play it. Probably because at the same time I had picked up Civ 5, and I put like 1,500 hours into that, so who knows. This is definitely a game that I want to keep playing after the 30-day challenge here. Probably do a series, we'll see. Maybe not immediately, but it is definitely on the list of games that I want to do again, because like I said, the story was, I felt like it was just getting so good. The stream went for a few hours, so I do have a lot of content, but just for the sake of time, it's all condensed down, and I'm just going to show you a very little bit of the storyline and gameplay. So we are about to get into that here. Yeah, we're just getting the bad news that we're cursed to this dude for all time, and we have to go kill Sauron, so. The first little bit here actually didn't go too well. Kind of had to do a bit of a second take, and it went a little bit better. Same with The Witcher 3. My archery skills are still not the best, so we're working on it, and I think it'll be okay. A little later on, I sort of forgot how to do the kill thing, but I really didn't mind how at certain times the story mixed with the gameplay. I thought it blended quite nicely. I know some games that we've done, the tutorial or other things kind of chop up the game and sort of makes it feel weird, but this didn't really bother me at all. In fact, this is some of the gameplay just before we get into, I think, the first mission. I was actually heading over to where the location is, seeing that slave kind of running, and just started to fight. And I was trying to figure out sort of where I was going. I thought I had an attack, but I didn't. Ended up trying to kill this guy quickly. That didn't work. This guy shows up. This dude thinks that he's gonna get away. He doesn't. That dude thinks he's gonna get away. He doesn't. That's kind of a theme. We do decide to jump into the storyline here, though, because there is kind of a point to the game. Like I said, the uncursing of ourselves. And there was a little bit of stealth to the game. I did quite enjoy trying to take out the archers. Like I said, it took me a little bit, and it didn't exactly go to plan. We did get all the archers, though, so that's great, but you're supposed to kill that dude, and everyone else would run away, and, well, as you can see, I end up having to kill every single one, pretty much. We do eventually get to the boss dude, but every time I was trying to get in on a kill, the rest of the guys kind of just sort of jumped in there to sort of stop it from happening. But once I got enough space and a little bit of time, we take them out sort of one by one, and the whole time I'm managing to try to still land a few shots in on the boss, but can never really get those quick kills. Sort of got one there, but yeah, by that point, it's like, come on, man, can I just kill that dude? And I think we do now. And this guy tries to get away, but like I said, no runners, right? It was really great. I mean, then blends back into the story. This dude, I think, he's from your past. Like I said, I don't want to really ruin the story for you guys too much, and I'm probably going to do another playthrough with more story and the actual dialect from the game. Golem. Oh yeah, no, that was a bit of a sidetrack. I was thinking about heading towards that other general mission, and got a little sidetracked with going after Gollum and tracking him down. All of this was just to kill one archer. They just kept coming from around that corner. Coming and coming. But as we'll see later, this is probably what you really should do, because leaving a whole bunch of them alive didn't really do me many favors going forward. But the ability of the Wraith is actually pretty neat. Tracking footsteps and finding hidden items, I believe you can use that for as well. So, and then there's the arrows of death, which are pretty cool. You got to use the life force of one of the orcs to fill it up. That was funny to figure out. I was trying to use it on the dead ones, and it wasn't working out so well. But this does not make you invisible. And I run by a whole bunch of orcs that I probably should have killed, that later towards the end of it just makes coming out of a cave really difficult. But we're trying to free the slaves, and that's sort of what I was concentrating on and sticking to my objective, which was to track down Gollum, right? So I wasn't really thinking about all those orcs, but probably should have just killed them, because eventually it would have made my life a lot easier, because we avoid a whole bunch more up here. No, it was just that first batch, and I think they were all moving in this direction, so I think the ones that initially come out of this cave are all part of it, the cutscene and whatever, but the ones that come after and the stuff that I edited out, yeah, it was probably, like I'm saying, there'll be a lot of killing of orcs in the next playthrough, but this was, I did this a few times too. Those cat things or whatever they are, oh man, you definitely, I'm not the best dodger, but we did okay, and we finally did get the beast, so huzzah. We had to finally caught up with Gollum. We have a chat, and this is where I sort of left off, so we'll kind of be getting into the day 7 coverage here very shortly, but I didn't go too much further in the game, like I said, and kind of ended it here. But I hope you guys enjoyed day 6, and I will see you shortly for day 7, which seen me check out Motorsport Manager, which, as the name implies, you're the manager. There's a few different teams that you can pick from, and I chose Windsor, and what it allows you to do is basically control everything from the other side of the pit. You're in charge of tires, development, I had like the whole list of everything, but there's just so much of it. Not in a bad way. If you're one of those people that likes managing games, micromanaging things and stuff like that, this is right up your alley. You would absolutely love it, especially if you're a race enthusiast. For day one, just trying to digest everything, it was a little bit much. But it does not mean I did not like this game at all. The tutorial was a bit of a pain in the butt, because it stopped you every, it just felt like it was kind of over the top. I mean, it should have been something that maybe was separate. Then when you jump into, like, your first race, you're able to focus on just that. I felt like the tutorial was kind of, like, dividing my attention, sort of. I'm not going to make any excuses. I did do a second race and did just as bad, but it mostly came down to pit stops and just managing tires and your engines and stuff, which is right down to the last detail as well. You can even manage your fuel, which I think I ran out of fuel on this race, if I'm not mistaken. Pretty sure it was this one. I don't think it was the second one, but I kept looking for it in the pit thing to do fuel, but I think you only get the fuel to start the race and you have to manage it till the end. I could be wrong on that. Like I said, there was a lot to sort of digest and maybe I missed it, but absolutely a fun game. Not sure it'll be something that we do on the... I'm just looking at the fuel. Yeah, I think I just make it. No, I don't, actually. I ran out of fuel. I did. So, yeah, there you go. Not exactly perfect, but I did enjoy it, and we're going to head on to Day 8 coverage, which seen me play City of Brass. Now, this is on the Epic Launcher. I absolutely love this game. Kind of reminded me of Aladdin, but it was pretty hard, I'm not gonna lie. Well, maybe harder than I thought it was gonna be. I died a lot of times, but this is one of the more successful runs where I did finally manage to get past the 3rd level, I think, which you only get 4 health. Each one takes halfway, I think. It's technically like 8. You can take like 8 shots, but there's things that can kill you everywhere. Like traps. Mostly the traps. But there's also a whole bunch of enemies that if you... I could try to use the whip to kill them. And believe me when I say the whip, it really only knocks them back and stuns them. And then you have to get in there and use your sword. You can visit the genie to get better weaponry and use your loot for that. But as you can see up in the right corner, you're timed. So each one of these you have to get through in a certain amount of time, or you fail and you have to start over. As you can see, some of these things were just a pain in the butt to, whip back and get rid of, and it was fun though. I did get the hang of it after a while, and as you can see below that, it says Twitch, give health, spawn ally, spawn loot, spawn pickup, and then there's the enemies and things like that. It actually allows you to join in with me when I'm playing. If I'm doing it live over on Twitch, which this game I just might do. And as you see right there, someone spawned in an ally for me. It's kind of at the end. We were sort of just testing it out to see if it worked, but it was actually kind of neat. You can give health too, I think. Yes. I don't know if I'd really like that one unless it's like absolutely needed, because you don't really find health too easily. You have to get it from the genie, and it costs gold. I'm not sure exactly how many times you can do it per level. I'm gonna guess it's only one, and I don't think it really gives you a lot of health. So if you were low, you see like right there, it only gave me 1. If I'm on 1, I mean, it's better than nothing, but like I said, there's something that can kill you around pretty much every corner. There's traps that came out of walls that maybe you don't see it. Yeah, I was being shot by an archer there, and it was kind enough to grant me some health because I was trying to. I think I was trying to whip the archer, and it just wasn't working for me. But there's a lot of these little hidden loot rooms too, and like I was mentioning with the genie, having a lot of the gold will help you get different things. I'm not exactly sure what they meant because this was the first time I sort of checked this out, but some of them are actually pretty interesting. The chickens are cool. I thought they didn't actually do anything, but they really do. They distract the enemy long enough for you to sort of whip and, kill them, which is actually kind of cool. Sometimes the traps didn't exactly seem to work like they should have, but it might have just been how I was standing and things like that. For the most part, I was able to avoid most of the traps. I died to a lot of the just hits that I took without paying attention, and sometimes, even though I had cleared traps, well, dodging enemies and stuff like that, I had hopped over into one or something like that. So definitely probably could have did a little bit better, but there's loot and stuff everywhere, but like I said, you're timed. So those potions, I never really figured out what all of them did. Some of them were actually sort of beneficial. I think some of them slow down time, but there's also ones that can be negative effects as well, so it'll like take you down to like 1 health. But as you can see, going between levels, other than getting lucky with the health genie, you don't really get much health, like I said. So it's one of those games where you can't take too many shots, and you have to sort of move as quickly as you possibly can. I wanted to loot everything, and I was sort of trying to figure out what we're doing, but as you see, I took a couple shots coming out the door because of those traps, which sometimes, yeah, maybe just pay a little bit more attention. But like I said, there's things around every corner that can and will sort of kill you, and the little arrow at the top, well, it will point you in the direction that you do need to go. It will also point you in the opposite direction. That thing is the main reason why I never made it to level 4 until this run. It took a while to figure out that I needed to kind of whip those electrical balls back at the person that's trying to throw them at me, which, as you can see, isn't exactly easy, but we do finally get it, I think, right now. Got this thing, and then, yeah, there we go. Then it was just a matter of figuring out where I needed to go, but I don't really have much health left, so there wasn't much hope that I was going to get too far, but I was just happy that I should be able to make past this level until I entered this room, and I was like, no. Really? It's going to end like that? But it didn't. We managed to make it, although this guy gave us quite the scare. It was always nice to have something in my hand too. Throw and then knock back. It's almost like you kind of need to do certain things to just get yourself through little areas. If quicksand wasn't fun enough, they added vines that I think like sort of tie you up and pull you down or something. I just tried to avoid them the best that I could, but I didn't really make it too far into this level because, well, I only had so much health. But I really did enjoy this game. It'll probably be something that I continue with going forward, and we will continue with the next day, which I think is day 9. And oh right, I know what got me here. It's so funny too. Yeah, basically what it was, I'm not too sure what would happen if I didn't have any wishes, but I'm not gonna worry about that. Like I was saying, what gets me here is as I shoot the blinking eye, you'll see I miss a green thing that's coming out of a trap, and without reassessing, I try to jump through the door and I die. So we're gonna head on to day 9 coverage, and I'll see you shortly. Day 9 see me check out this weird game called Stories Untold. Now, it doesn't really look like much, at least for this first story, and that's kind of the intriguing part. It's a puzzle game, so you have to figure out what the game wants you to do through using clues that are given to you based on the story that you're reading. The other stories, I did do the second one. I didn't make it through it, but the second one, there's photosensitive stuff in there that could cause people that maybe have like epilepsy or something like that some issues. So that's why I chose this one, plus it's the first story, so there's a lot more to this game than you would think just based on this. So now I would recommend kind of checking out if you like those sort of games where you have to figure out every detail of what you sort of need to do. I had to look around and open things and go back and repeat. It was actually quite interesting. Like I said, it wasn't really what I thought it was going to be at the beginning, but it turned out to be quite interesting. And there's a lot of different noises and things that you're not hearing right now that sort of add to the sort of spooky kind of nature of this game, which I did a little bit of research after I played it, and I'm not going to spoil anything, but it is definitely a game that I'm probably going to do again, but it's not going to be live or probably put on YouTube. I'm not sure, but I definitely want to play through the whole story and figure it out, because it gets pretty weird. Like the second story, you're doing some weird experiment things, and you wonder why. And from what I understand, after checking it out, after the stream, is that the stories are all kind of connected. So I thought that was extremely interesting, considering the entire first story is basically you sitting in front of an old computer, and a bunch of sounds and things are going off and stuff like that. So, like I said, this game wasn't really the most... It didn't seem like the most exciting, but it actually, once you kind of get going, it sort of sucks you in and it makes you want to play more. But, I only got, like I said, the second chapter, and I think I only got about halfway through it before I just kind of got a little confused and decided to call it for the day. But really didn't do too much of this, like I said, and it is... Oh, 1986 is on the wall right in front of me. I wonder if that shows up afterwards. It's part of what you have to go look for, and yeah, it's kind of like you're sitting there and you're playing it, watching yourself do it. It's a bit of a mind kind of thriller, so I think some of you guys might enjoy it. But we're gonna head on to day 10 coverage here, and finally on day 10, throughout the galaxy a legend is told. On a distant planet, a grim fortress stood, until a deadly force parted the heavens and descended upon the keep. Though brought to ruin, the ashes of that place hold an artifact of impressive power. A gun that can kill the past. Over time, the fortress was rebuilt, and some who heard the legend would risk everything for another shot, to claim their prize and make what was done undone. They must enter the Gungeon. Oh man, this game was so cool. There was no narration for that, so that's just me being weird, you guys. this game had some weird 80s funky music to it, which I quite enjoyed. It was a lot harder than it looked. Like it really was. It took me forever to literally just get past the first boss. So this is the best run that I did, and yeah, you only get 3 health, and this one gets split up into 2. So sort of like City of Brass, except you only get 6 shots. Unless you manage to find some armor, then you can take a little bit more, but I didn't do too bad trying to kill the little weird dudes in the rooms trying to get to the boss. It was basically the boss just annihilating me almost every time I got in there, and I think it was mostly because we just didn't have much health. It's not exactly easy. You can use the tables and things to dodge and block, but as you can see, things are moving quite quickly. And yeah, it is sped up, but even in real time, you get a lot of those things coming at you. And I just wasn't efficient enough at the move that I'm doing right now. Roll. Traditionally, you run away from bullets. This game actually kind of encourages you to dive into them and things like that. So I think you're vulnerable for like the first portion of it, and then when you touch the ground again is when you can take damage. So it's basically just a timing thing that I didn't get for this playthrough. Anyways, I did have some fun, so I might do this game again. I'm not going to be too sure just when, but I definitely enjoyed myself with the pew pew shooty and unlimited ammo. You can get other guns and stuff by unlocking chests, but a lot of them seemed kind of weird, and I'm not sure. There's probably like ones that are best suited for certain enemies and things like that, but I wasn't too sure. Yeah, I probably should have saved that health, but we didn't. There's like a lot of these things. It's like the teleports were pretty cool. They kind of sped things up, but this weapon is, I'm pretty sure, the only reason why I managed to make it past these guys. And I had fought them a few times before, but as you see, I go in full health, and well, that didn't help. But I'm trying to dodge, and there's just so many things, and I managed to kill one, and then hold on, but how I managed from this point on is just amazing, because I have no health. 2 shots and I'm pretty much dead, and then took one of them right there. So it was a good thing that they gave me some health, otherwise wouldn't have made it much further, and I actually didn't. I get to the next level, and what is it? Well, I guess we'll see here, 'cause it's kind of included. I wasn't too sure where I was supposed to go and what exactly I was supposed to do. I'd already picked the health thing up. It's over in the little store thing. I was checking something, but what? Oh yeah, right. I know what got me. It was the log thing. I literally like run in and I think about it. Planning it out. I got this. I got this. I got this. Okay, I don't got this. And yeah, I just wasn't having too much luck getting across with my my little dude. That one was just hilarious. I'm not sure. I think I fell off just into the very corner of that, but I do manage to make it across. And I think it's in here that I die? Yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed day 10. That's it. That's all, folks. Day 6 through 10. I hope you enjoyed. I've enjoyed the journey thus far. We have plenty more games to come. I do apologize that this video is up a lot later than I had anticipated. The next one should be in line in the next couple of days, hopefully. But I will see you guys in the next one. If you're new to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss any other videos. Head on over to Twitch, follow me over there, hit me up on the Twitter, check me out in the Discord, all the links in the description below. Until the next one, guys, as always, take care.